She was waiting to see how our ratings would be worthy of her.
Oh, okay. So now that we've won a couple of awards, she'll come on the show.
I can only do award-winning podcasts. I just had to wait till y'all leveled up, and then once y'all hit the award winning, I was like, all right, let's do it.
Well, this game show that we put together is an opportunity for our community to get to know some of our business owners in a different kind of way. Right now, we're looking at two happy couples. I hope at the end of the show, they're just as happy when we're done when they show how much they know one another. So
say that again for me, please.
I hope that
put that into existence one more time. Two happy couples.
Two happy couples. We want it to stay that way, right?
Yes, sir. There you go.
Right.
What's up, everybody? Ulysses Slaughter here with Building Community. The award-winning Chester Housing Authority Building Community, not to be confused with the one that did win an award. And we've got a wonderful guest who's, if you don't know her face, I bet you know her name if you've been around Chester for, I don't know, a couple of days even. That would be Dr. Kristin Ball-Motley. But before I go there, I'm going to go to the Executive Director of the Chester Housing Authority, again, the award-winning Chester Housing Authority, Mr. Steve A. Fischer. Good to see you again, sir.
So we're going with the A today because of this guest, I take it, who likes to call me Stephen A.
Stephen A.
So, if we weren't award-winning, we will be now because of this introduction of a guest here. God, I feel like I go back a long way with Kristin. It's probably not as long as it feels like, but we've traveled a lot of roads together, and they've all been health/housing related, of course, because that's our two things, and that doesn't really ever seem to stop. We keep building on things as the years go by. So rather than me recite all the different projects she's leaned on me to help with and vice versa, we're gonna save time for her to detail that stuff herself. But one of the main reasons I thought at this time we would have a conversation with Kristin is because of her latest endeavor. And I'll just throw out two words: health educated. And then I'll let her fill in the definitions and all the various blanks that go along with it. But in closing these opening comments, I'll just say this: working with Kristin can be hard work, but it is always fun. So getting to the end is never dull, and you can pretty much count on that we will accomplish our goals and help a lot of people. So let's get on with it.
I don't know if that was a compliment or shade, Stephen A. Fischer. I felt it as a compliment, but as I processed it, I was like, is he throwing shade at me? Because he sounds like my husband, who's like, why are you always doing the most? So I don't know how I feel about it, but I'm gonna try to take it as a compliment.
She's waiting, yes. Steve. You got to say it was a compliment.
It's all good because it's like you said, we get the work done, and it's not easy work. It's not easy work. I wish it was, but it's not, and it's a lot of it to do. We're playing catch up from hundreds of years of issues that and we're trying to overcome that. And it is incredibly hard. It is incredibly hard. And so, no, it's not easy. It's a lot, but we do get it done. And I'm grateful for people like you and Butch, who've just been amazing and doing your things as well. It's just, as you know, it's just a lot to be done, and we just get it done.
Kristin, Steve said this already, and I concur that when you're working as hard as you sometimes do, it's great to be able to work hard and have fun and enjoy the hard work. Sometimes the hard work is so laborious that it's fatiguing and it's hard to find the fun in it. And those two words that Steve threw out in your organization is called Health Educated, correct?
Yes.
We can find that organization I was looking at the website, healtheducatedinc.org. We talk a lot of times about health, and I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but wouldn't you say health is just about everything?
Absolutely. It is everything. And if you don't have it, you hardly have anything. And so what we know is that unhealthy communities lead to lower employment opportunities, because if you can't go to work, you can't make money. And so, money drives a lot of aspects of our lives. So being able to provide financially to take care of your needs is the basis for a lot of living. And so health is like it is everything. Health is everything. Health is your wealth. Like, as people say, we don't have it, we hardly have anything.
We're going to talk broadly, but I want to get to specifically the organization that you started called Health Educated. I was again at the website, and people can go there and they can find this background information at healtheducatedinc.org. But for people who won't get there faster than they will see this, what was the impetus for getting this whole thing going? Why did you feel the need to develop Health Educated?
So it's actually been a really long time in the making. Over 10 years ago, in 2010, I started Healthcare Solutions of Delaware Valley. And so that was an LLC, and it was a helping company. I would help people who couldn't afford to pay for expensive medications. I would help them get their medications for free. I would visit their homes and review their medications with them. That's called medication therapy management in the pharmacy world. And so I was helping people through their medication issues. And one of my mentors at the time said, you should be a nonprofit because this is helping work. And people don't always want to pay for helping work, because they see this as a social service. And I was having challenges with getting people to pay me for those services. But I said to her, I was like, I can make this work. I'm a Black woman. I can defeat the odds. I know that the success rate of Black-owned businesses are lower, and it's even worse for women, but I can beat it. I can do it. And so 10 years later, I still hadn't done it. But I was still plugging along. I expanded the business and started offering different services and still plugging along, and was doing okay, but not really where I knew I could be. And then COVID happened. And when COVID happened, a vaccine eventually became available, thank God. But initially I didn't want to get vaccinated. I was like, I'm not sure about this warp speed vaccine. I don't want no warp speed vaccine. I want the vaccine that took 10 years to make. I don't know how well it works yet. They just came out with it. They don't have enough research. They don't have enough data. I don't know if it's going to do something to my DNA. I don't know what an mRNA vaccine is. I never heard of it. I was just going through my whole, I don't know. So it took me a while to really get out of my Black woman self, because that's what I was being, a Black woman in America. And I wasn't being the healthcare provider that I'm trained to be. I just couldn't operate in that mind. I couldn't operate in that space. And once I got out of that space and put on my pharmacist hat, I read the articles. I called friends that work in the industry who work on COVID vaccine trials. I got their insight, and I got enough information to make me realize that this vaccine is totally fine. But it took me months to get there. I didn't get vaccinated until like the middle of that first summer, when everyone else had been vaccinated for months already. And so once I made a decision to get vaccinated. And then around that time, people were asking me to work on projects to help other people get vaccinated. And I couldn't do it until I got vaccinated myself. And I wasn't just going to do it just to work on projects. So it kind of coincided where I ended up getting vaccinated. And then the opportunity started coming. And then at that point, I knew I had to do something to help my community get to the place where I got, where at least they can make an informed decision that's just not based on how they feel, but that's based on real information. Because how you feel is okay, but you got to move past how you feel and start to marry that with what is real information. And I know I'm taking a long time to get your question answered, but it's coming. So I was able to work on a number of projects, but through each of the projects, I had to have a fiscal sponsor. And I didn't have a nonprofit because I only had the LLC. So I had to reach out to people like Steve Fischer, and he agreed to be my fiscal sponsor. Corey Long with Making a Change Group, the Foundation for Delaware County, Tara Jones, Cat Sense. I had all these fiscal sponsors to work on all these different projects. And then I was like, it's just time for me to start a nonprofit so that I can go directly and get the funding to work on different projects to help my community. So this is all kind of birthed through COVID, although I have been doing community work for so long. But now, the time came where I just really needed to do it on my own. So that's how we got to where we are today.
Just going back to your path to vaccination, the thought process you went through was so well documented publicly because you allowed it to be. I think that's what got a lot of people to follow you, because it seemed real. You started off hesitant, you went through a process of education, and then you came to the conclusion that wasn't, your original thought. And that mirrored, probably what a lot of people were feeling, maybe just not expressing it as well as you did. So the fact that you opened your thought process to the public, I thought gave you credibility and caused people to listen closer.